Non-Muslim scientists' comments on the Quran.
Yashidi Kuzan. Director of the Tokyo Observatory, Tokyo, Japan.
He told that, I am very much impressed by finding true astronomical facts in Quran, and for us modern astronomers have been studying very small piece of the universe. We have concentrated our efforts for understanding a very small part. Because by using telescopes, we can see only very few parts of the sky without thinking about the whole universe. So by reading Quran and by answering to the questions, I think I can find my future way for investigation of the universe.
Elmer Marshall Johnson. Professor and Chairman of the Department of Anatomy and Developmental Biology, and Director of the Daniel Bohr Institute, Thomas Jefferson University, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA.
He told that, in summary, the Quran describes not only the development of external form, but emphasizes also the internal stages, the stages inside the embryo, of its creation and development, emphasizing major events recognized by contemporary science. As a scientist, I can only deal with things which I can specifically see. I can understand embryology and developmental biology. I can understand the words that are translated to me from the Quran. As I gave the example before, if I were to transpose myself into that era, knowing what I do today and describing things, I could not describe the things that were described. I see no evidence to refute the concept that this individual Muhammad had to be developing this information from some place, so I see nothing here in conflict with the concept that divine intervention was involved in what he was able to write.
Dr. Morris Buckale. Born in 1920, former chief of the surgical clinic, University of Paris, has for a long time deeply interested in the correspondences between the teachings of the Holy Scriptures and modern secular knowledge. After a study which lasted 10 years, Dr. Morris Buckale addressed the French Academy of Medicine in 1976 concerning the existence in the Quran of certain statements concerning physiology and reproduction.
His reason for doing that was that our knowledge of these disciplines is such that it is impossible to explain how a text produced at the time of the Quran could have contained ideas that have only been discovered in modern times. The above observation makes the hypothesis advanced by those who see Muhammad as the author of the Quran untenable. How could a man, from being illiterate, become the most important author, in terms of literary merits, in the whole of Arabic literature? How could he then pronounce truths of a scientific nature that no other human being could possibly have developed at that time, and all this without once making the slightest error in his pronouncement on the subject?
Gerald Geringer.
He told that, in a relatively few Quranic verses, is contained a rather comprehensive description of human development, from the time of commingling of the gametes through organogenesis. No such distinct and complete record of human development such as classification, terminology, and description existed previously. In most, if not all instances, this description antedates by many centuries the recording of the various stages of human embryonic and fetal development recorded in the traditional scientific literature.
Professor Sayaveda. Professor of Marine Geology, Japan.
Sheikh Zindani asked him about the shape of mountains, and whether they were firmly routed in the earth.
What is your opinion of what you have seen in the Quran, with regard to the secrets of the universe, which scientists only discovered now?
He replied that, I think it seems to me very, very mysterious, almost unbelievable. I really think if what you have said is true, the book is really a very remarkable